evening, everybody. Welcome in to Michigan Basketball Postgame Live season opener. A success for the Wolverines, encouraging. They go out there without Juwan Howard, their head coach, and a successful opener with a win over UNC Asheville, 99-74. Michigan wins it by 25. They're up 16 at halftime. We're here after every Michigan football and basketball game, and Michigan tipping things up tonight in Ann Arbor. Everything, you watch this game, you may not have watched. I didn't watch the exhibition the other night, so this is the first time that I saw this team. Did go to media day, watch them, practice a little bit, but watching them out there today, you have to be encouraged. You're a Michigan fan watching how they played right from, the wherever you want to go. I mean, I think everything that you looked at tonight, I think you like everything. So, that's good. That's a great thing for openers. Shoot well, your best players. I mean, everybody played well, but so your best players were your best players, like the ball movement, like how everybody looked like they, had their roles, sharing the ball, defense. I don't know if there's a perfect game. The commentator Stephen Bardo, the former Fighting Illini player from back in the day, it was just in the first half. I was waiting for it, and so there it is. He said he thinks that this Michigan team can surprise people this year. So, all of that, maybe this team, because you say, hey, do you think Michigan's going to make the tournament? Probably not. Heading into this season, you say whatever you think heading in, and then you watch how it unfolds. And I didn't think that Michigan, based on what I saw from the roster and everything else, but there's so many different pieces that so a lot of uncertainty there, and you're not going to change your opinion after one night. But for one night and for openers, fantastic. Doug McDaniel, a career high 22 points for Michigan. I think you start there. I'll start there. McDaniel, he put on, what do you say, 10, 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason, as much as he can play. I don't know how much, who else is really going to be there, a ball handler for him. He's going to be the engine for this team, and also with the ability to score. And you saw, everything that you want from everything that you would hope for and that you would want from these players. That was all on display there tonight. So you get, whenever you watch this team in the future, you go back and say, yeah, this is kind of what you're looking for. This is what you're looking for. Well, yeah, you're looking for Doug McDaniel to run the show and also score. And, he 9 of 15, 4 of 9 from downtown. And then, TW2, Terrence Williams, the second, 5 of 8 from the floor. And, he looked good. And Olivier Kamwa, who the transfer from Tennessee, led Michigan in scoring with 25 points. I don't know, what do you have, 4, 5 dunks? He looked awesome. He showed everything that he can do. I mean, he's not just a low post player. He can go out. He's got a nice shot. He put all that on display. Namari Burnett was in the starting lineup. He got into double figures. He looked good right out of the gate. And then Terrace Reed Jr., not in double figures, but 9 points and 7 boards. And he is looks like he's in better shape. He said he was. He looked better. I mean, you just take a look at him and say, yeah, he looks stronger. It looks like he lost some weight. And so all of that, and then, take a look at it. Always take your feedback if you watch the game. Ty was watching. He said they definitely look like a better team. He liked the shoot, they were knocking their shots down. You know what happens when you are a basketball team and you go out there and you are knocking down your outside shots, especially from downtown, things look really good. I mean, and that's what Michigan was doing. They were down and everything they were throwing up, they were hitting. They were knocking them down right out of the gate. And then they just went from there with the boat race. And, that's what you want. And, that's what they got. Carter talking about Olivier being an animal. Yeah, I mean he is an animal in a good way, and he was that tonight. So yeah, a lot of smiles around the Chrysler Center, and why not when you play like that? So Michigan came out with McDaniels and Amari Burnett in the backcourt as a starter, and Terrence Williams and Kamwa and Terrace Reed Jr. Those was the starting five. The rotation when they went to the bench, Will Cheddar with a nice game tonight. Trey Jackson, the transfer from Seton Hall, came in. Both of those guys. Trey Jackson had 20 points in the exhibition game the other night, and he's versatile. Those were the first two subs, and then the freshman George Washington III, along with Yo-Yo, they came in later, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the rotation. And I think you'll see Cheddar and Jackson, go 6, 7. And then, you're going to want GW3 because he can really shoot. And, Yo-Yo's a live wire. And whatever he can do for you defensively, come in and, maybe give you a breather if there's some foul trouble or something like that. But that's what you're looking at with the rotation for Michigan. Let's just look at the numbers. They were good for Michigan tonight. Doug McDaniel with those that career high 22, but Michigan led by the newcomer Olivier Kamwa, 25 points, 7 boards, 3 assists. How about this? 11 of 16 from the floor, hit both of his free throws. That's the kind of stat line that, I think everybody will say this over the next couple of days. You get 25 from Kamwa and 22 from Doug McDaniel. Michigan's going to win a lot of games. Oh, they get production like that from those guys, and then TW2 shooting the way he did, and you get a big three like that. Michigan's going to win a lot of games. So nice. So 25 from Kamwa, 22 for McDaniels. Mentioned TW2, 15 points, 6 boards, and a feed for Terrence Williams, who was 5 of 8 from the floor, including 3 of 5 from downtown. That was nice. Damari Burnett, 13 points, 5 boards, 4 of 7. Everybody shot well. Get down to the bench where you had Cheddar with 8. Jackson, who had 20 in the exhibition to lead all scorers, he had 3. And you see Yo-Yo had a bucket. And there you go. If there was one thing, you say, hey, what about George Washington? Can we see a little bit more from him? Well, 0 for 4 from downtown. And Llewellyn, whenever he is able to get back, and Jace Howard's banged up, he's going to miss some time. And Llewellyn, whenever he can go, they don't have a timeline yet for him, but there's the shooting, 99 points, 38 from 67. How about 12 of 26 from downtown? And they were sharp from the charity stripe as well, 11 from 15. So 11 of 15, sorry. And it all adds up to a 99-74 victory. Everything that you would want, you got from Michigan tonight. And, this is the kind of, I'm not stopping anybody from feeling good after a night. Detroit Lions, Opaz is in. He says Michigan basketball is back. He's saying that they're so good. Well, they looked really good tonight. So let's see them just keep that going, because bottle up whatever they had going tonight, and just a lot of good things. Come back. I'll be here after all of these games. How many times am I going to reference? Man, just think about the opener, back there on November the 7th, and that's where we're sitting right now. The opener for Michigan, so much promise. Now watching this team and seeing how they played, things look good for them. I think you watch tonight and you feel good, and everything that you saw, you're like, I want to see what they do for an encore. I want to watch them next. So let's take a look and see what they actually do have next. And that is a look at the upcoming schedule. And that is brought to you by the Maize and Blue Reviews. Good afternoon, Michigan football and basketball. That's a show. It says 1 o'clock here. That was last year. We'll have to make that adjustment. It is 2 o'clock, and that is 3 times a week. And you can check that out coming up tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Big game. We'll recap what we saw here in a segment. We will also look forward to Saturday at State College in Pennsylvania, Michigan in action against Penn State, and anything else that's going on off the field. I would tell you right now exactly what it was going to be, but who knows what's in store tomorrow when it comes down to the what is a circus drama off the field. We'll see what happens there. All right, here is the upcoming schedule. Michigan is in action again Friday, 6:30, right back on the Big Ten Network as the Wolverines will host, what's Youngstown State? The Penguins, I think. Youngstown State will be in on Friday, and that's when Michigan is in action again, and then they'll be back. They're playing, I think that's out at the Garden in New York, taking on St. John in the Gavitt tip-off games. Michigan taking on the Johnnies, St. John's. So there's the next 2 games. And if you want to stretch it out, I've got all the games up here in November. Friday, November the 17th, Long Beach State. No TV for that one. That might be one you want to get out to and go see Michigan play. And then the Wolverines will be down in the Bahamas. I was looking at all the teams down there. Arkansas, they take on the winner of Arkansas, Stanford, if Michigan is able to get by Memphis, or they'll take on the other team there. So they'll take on either Arkansas or Stanford. What I was looking at, the bracket was a little confusing. Got everything in the middle, and then the losers here, and then they got game 6, game 7, everything else. But that is how it looks right now. But that's the upcoming schedule there for Michigan. One thing for sure that we know, it is Youngstown State, 6:30 coming up this Friday. That's when Michigan will be in action again after a big-time success tonight. Matt, calling it a good win, says go blue. Trevor, who joins the Michigan basketball postgame show a lot. I can remember that from last year. Here he is on the opener. It's good to see him. And I know he liked what he saw. Yeah, like I like the shooting. I like, Doug McDaniel. Doug McDaniel can, he's not the biggest guy. We all know that, but man, he is fast and he can score and he plays with a flair. So, Michigan's got that. And Kamwa, that's, what you saw tonight is what you want from Michigan. You want to see, and, I think I was thinking to myself, Terrace Reed maybe would be in the, the big 3 when you looked at Michigan, just, thinking about, hey, where were they going to get their scoring from, or who are their best players? McDaniel, Kamwa. I was thinking Reed, the way that, it ends up tonight, you see that you get Kamwa and McDaniel, but you get TW2. Is he going to be ready to step in and last year, it was a disappointing season for Terrence Williams II, especially the way it finished for him. But he looked, he's always been a confident player. If you see a little bit of that for him, Cheddar's a fun guy. Cheddar, if you watch him, you say, at times, is Cheddar athletic enough to be a Big Ten player? And then the more you watch him, you say, he does everything that you don't have to be, a super athlete. It's nice, being a super athlete's nice, but he, you know, he can do a lot of other things, you know, besides, you know, flash athleticism. That's, you know, he threw a great pass. He can shoot. He put on a sequence of moves that got to the basket, threw one up there. He's fun. He's fun to watch. And I know he wants to have a big year. Everybody wants to have a big year. And Trey Jackson, a newcomer, we'll see how he ends up fitting in. But for one night, things looking good here for Michigan. We'll see how long they can keep that going. How about this? Opaz talking about there'll be another win coming in. He's super pumped. That's good. And the poster formerly known as Andres, Michigan basketball looking like the football team out there. How about that? Oh, yeah. Maybe they stole UNC UNC Ash's signs. There you go. That's a good joke. It was impressive. How about it? Nice job. We'll hit on some of those signs and that stuff coming up tomorrow, and we'll be with you again on Friday night. If you are watching this after the fact, you know, a couple minutes after the game, we fire it up, talk about what happened out there on the hardwood for the Maize and Blue this year. You can always join us to take all the feedback and get your thoughts on, you know, what you saw from the Maize and Blue. And tonight, A+ performance by the home team is Michigan routes UNC Asheville 99-74. So there you go. Tommy pointing out something that I had not thought about, but it is accurate. Basketball season, Michigan 1-0, MSU 0-1 after their loss in overtime last night. You are correct, Tommy B. There it is. How about that? Opaz disagrees with my report card. I said A+. He puts down an additional 4 pluses next to the A. Good stuff there from Michigan. And we'll see what they do in game 2 coming up on Friday night. Like I was going to say, if you miss this and you're watching or listening to the replay, if you're listening to it, you know that it's available there on a podcast. No, I'd say it's a nice, you get your average. What is your average drive time for your job? Usually 22 minutes in America. Heck, when I was working at a race station, it took me over 50 minutes to drive. So I had to have a couple of things fired up on the podcast. But get that podcast. You can fire it up if you miss any of the basketball games. It'll be there. Of course, you can also watch it on YouTube like you might be doing right now. Of course, sometimes you can just pop that thing up on YouTube in your car, not watching it, but you get the audio there if you don't have the podcast. A lot of different ways where you can find it. And that's it. All right. I will see you at 2:00 on this very channel, the same feed that you're watching or listening to right now. We'll be live. And then after the Michigan basketball game Friday, and then after the football game on Saturday. This is it's getting interesting now. Football very interesting. Now is the time, and basketball getting underway. I say it all the time. It's a great time of year. Well, this is a great time of year. November is great. Year of sports. October's not too shabby either. And September gets you away, but now's the time in November, and things are looking great for the Maize and Blue. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk with you tomorrow at 2:00, or we'll see you after the basketball game on Friday night. So long, everybody. Michigan wins it by 20.